It started back in 1997. Military Order of the Purple Heart wanted to do something to honor the Purple Heart itself, the medal, plus the history of the Purple Heart. For those who don't know, the Purple Heart medal is actually a derivative of the original medal, actually the original award, not a medal, but the award that was crafted by General George Washington during the Revolutionary War.
The Purple Heart, at the time when I got it in the mail, you sort of were not in uniform, you were in your civilian clothes, so it did not have the meaning till later on when the rest of the fellows came home.
Mile marker 0 is here at Mount Vernon, and it goes from here to like a huge vein of spreading the knowledge of the Purple Heart from here to the West Coast, and it's phenomenal for a history piece as far as how George Washington brought a merit award for service members who were injured in the line of duty, and it's just miraculous how it's grown and the pride that individuals have who have received the award, and how it's made a difference in our society and our individuals who have received this.
The role that George Washington has played, for me, I wrote a paper about him when I was in the 6th grade. So he's kind of been a reoccurring theme, I think, in my life. After that, I know that, we moved up here to the DC area a while back, and I've taken several family members, my husband and I, my parents, my sisters, through Mount Vernon, and that's been a really neat experience to be able to connect with that, and then also kind of the George Washington I knew from the books and history lessons growing up. But I guess most recently would be the fact that he's on the Purple Heart that I received, and so that it's probably has the deepest meaning for the way that he's been the reoccurring theme in my life.
My sergeant major and I had just kind of reclined ourselves to get a little shut-eye when suddenly all hell breaks loose. And I remember hopping up and running to the sound of the majority of the gunfire. What had happened is they had actually hit our perimeter at, for us, the best place, for them, the worst place. It was where we had positioned some of our most heaviest of the weaponry that we had. So you could see red tracers going out and green tracers coming in. And I remember running towards the perimeter, and then I just fell over. It's kind of like I got tripped up, my legs tripped up, fell down, laid there for a second. And I guess how to describe it is, it was kind of a surreal environment from that time. Everything suddenly slowed down.
We were just approaching the outskirts of Magdeburg, near the target, when out of the sun came this Hemi Messerschmitt 109. I didn't see him till we heard the explosion. Okay, he had gotten off a good couple of bursts. Number 1 and 2 engine was on fire, and we put that out immediately. We dropped our bombs, which they were armed. The navigator yelled, "I'm hit," and then something exploded in my turret.
My time and interest in the Purple Heart is many. First of all, being a recipient. Second of all, I am a retired executive from the United States Postal Service, and I did the first Purple Heart stamp dedication here at Mount Vernon with the then Postmaster General Jack Potter, and I had the pleasure to sit next to one of the descendants of Robert E. Lee.
I guess the Purple Heart and just accepting it has been a growing experience, and one that I'm probably still growing.
And I would really like to see how we can help Mount Vernon to have a display very similar to what we have at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center. When you walk into the buildings and there's the Purple Heart display.
While I was working, it didn't allow me a lot of time to do some of the things I wanted to do or would have loved to do. After retiring, and I had the time now to get more involved with the Military Order of the Purple Heart and to help give back. I mean, there's so many people out there, veterans, who were willing to make the sacrifice or made the sacrifice, who are now suffering. And so if there's some way that I could give something back or to help somebody, then, that's what I want to do. And so my service to the chapter, and I serve now as the junior vice commander, is to just help moving forward and to help do what we can in the community, to help do what we can do to help other veterans.